Are you scared of spiders? Have I got some spiders for you?
Let's go.
Comment t'as fait pour pécho ça?
Toi, tu kiffes dormir avec ça dans ta chambre.
Non mais tu sais qui leur parle?
Bah sérieux.
Je te promets meuf.
Théo, tu te caches, Théo. Tu te fous de ma gueule.
Il a fait un malaise, c'est ça?
Ta gueule, c'était pas un malaise, ça.
Un truc qui tue aussi rapidement, c'est impossible, non?
Ce qu'il avait au bras là, ça vient pas d'une seringue.
Si ça vient pas d'une seringue, ça vient de quoi alors?
Vas-y. Chaud.
Hello, welcome back to my world of stuff. My name is Paul Mount. If you're new here, if you've just stumbled across this channel because you saw a picture of a spider and you were intrigued, why not stick around? Press the like and subscribe button. You can subscribe there. You can leave a thumbs up. You can even leave comments. Amazing. YouTube is an incredible thing. So why not join me in my journey through the weird, the wonderful, and the sometimes quite mundane? Right, this certainly isn't mundane, the film I'm talking about today. If you're an arachnophobic, you won't want to go any near this film. I don't know that I'm an arachnophobic, but I do not like our eight-legged friends. Now, I appreciate that they're part of nature, and they do wonderful things in getting rid of parasites and bugs and God knows what down in the ground. That's fine. Just don't come in my house. That's all I'm saying. Don't come in any room that I'm in or any space that I occupy. You stay in your space and I'll stay in mine and we'll get along just fine. Spiders have got 4 times as many legs as I've got and they can't be trusted. That's what I say. Not in a domestic setting. And a domestic setting is where we find them in this new film which is currently streaming on Shudder. It's called Infested. It's the first full-length feature directed by Sebastian Vanecek. It's a French language film, but don't let that put you off. It's got subtitles. But the dialogue and that sort of stuff, it's not really about that. It's about the horror. It's set in and around a rather forbidding-looking Parisian tower block complex. It's not exactly, it's almost like 2 big donuts on either side with these sort of flats all around it. It's not the sort of place I would care to dwell in, I have to say. It's a bit run down, it's a bit dilapidated. Some residents are making plans to move away. But there are some who refuse to go and some who sort of like it there. We meet up, well, in fact, we have a prologue, which is set out in the desert somewhere, where a bunch of, appear to be Arab mercenaries, are hunting for something in the ground. They find it, and they soon wish they hadn't. One of the spiders from this collection finds its way to a curio shop in Paris. And our lead character, I think you can call him, Caleb, played by Theo Christine, he lives in this block of flats and he's a bit of a fan of insects and arachnids and creepy crawlies. And he's got a bit of a menagerie of these things kept back in his flat, in this block. He sees this unusual looking spider, something he's not really seen before. So he buys it, takes it back to the flat. He shares the flat with his sister, Manon, played by Lisa Nyarko. The conflict between these two is that the flat they live in once belonged to their mother, who passed away some time ago. Manon wants to refurbish the flat and sell it on, but Caleb, he wants to stay in the flat. He wants to stay there with his creatures and carry on living in the place that has connections to his family. So they're at odds about this. During the evening, some friends come along to visit, and there's more friction caused. And during the friction, Jacob realises that Manon has turned off the heating, which keeps all these little creatures warm and content. That hasn't gone down very well with the new spider, which has escaped and disappeared into the building, where it proceeds to hatch and hatch and hatch. And the things that hatch begin to hatch and hatch and hatch. And before long, this massive community of spiders is thriving in the residential block, looking for warmth, looking for new hosts and new homes in which to continue thriving. Eek. That's the plot. That's what we have. Our characters eventually suddenly realise that something's not quite right. There's a really chilling scene where Manon is in her bathroom and she sees a spider, a very large spider. And the film does this a couple of times where people are just going about their business and you see a spider in the background or emerging from a vent or scuttling across the floor. And these are very well done spiders. I don't know if they use real spiders, animatronic, CGI. I don't know. I don't really care that much because they're spiders. Manon is trapped in the shower. She knows the spider is outside in the bathroom. She's screaming. Her brother and friends come in to try and trap it. And it quickly becomes apparent that these aren't normal spiders. And not only is this not a normal spider, there's plenty of other not normal spiders around too. They try to escape from the tower block, but it's sealed off by the police, who are clearly aware of what's going on somehow. And slowly, everybody in the tower block is fighting for their lives. We don't see a lot of the other people. There is one party scene where we meet an old lady who's about to move on from the tower block. Suffice to say, that doesn't happen. But we do see subtle scenes of what the spiders have done. Now, this isn't a film full of gore and horrible scenes of people being eaten by spiders. It's sort of subtly done. We see creepy scenes of people covered in webs or spiders emerging from them, but it's not done in a gruesome sort of way. It's quite suggestive. That's probably down to budget, because I think this is quite a low budget film. But what this director Vanacek has done, he's created a very claustrophobic, stifling and skin crawling film, because if you don't like spiders, you're going to find this a tough watch, because there are lots of spiders here. Certainly in the last act, there are spiders everywhere. Eventually, as is the way with this sort of film, people succumb to the spiders, and I'm not going to reveal who lives and who dies, obviously. But some of the characters, they're desperate to get out of this building, even though it's sealed, and they try and find a way down through service tunnels and ducts and so on. But everywhere they go, there are more and more spiders. And there are scenes of spiders on the ceiling and spiders on the floor, spiders crawling everywhere, spiders crawling over people. There's a scene at the end where they actually sort of escape out into the car park. But the police and the armed forces are already there, trying to force them to go back in. They don't go back in, but the spiders come out. And there's this sort of pitched battle between these soldiers and the spiders. And the spiders are extremely numerous, and they just swarm through the car park while Jacob and Manon are desperately trying to find a place to hide. This is a good film. With the proviso, there's got lots of spiders in it. And I watched this and I was squirming in my seat because I suppose I am arachnophobic. But yeah, it's very well done. We've seen spider films before, of course. There have been loads over the years. Eight-Legged Freaks is one of the more recent ones, I suppose. We had Kingdom of the Spiders back in the 70s with William Shatner. We had Arachnophobia in the 80s, I think, early 90s, which is supposed to be remade, but I haven't heard anything about that. There's also another one coming up soon called Stung, I think, which is an Australian film, which I think is debuted in America, is scuttling over here soon. So that there is something sort of primal about spiders, the fact that they are so inhuman, and the way they move and the speed, and yeah, this is a very effective entry into that sort of spider horror genre. So if you're terrified of spiders, just don't watch this, because it'll shit you up. But I watched it because, I don't know, I'm a fool, I suppose, not liking creatures and watching a film about them, but I just found it very well done. It was very well made for its budget, very creepy, very tense, and there are some scenes that will make you sort of squirm and hunch up into a little ball. I highly recommend it if you can cope with this sort of thing. It's a very unusual sort of horror film for these days, I suppose. We get lots of slasher films and horror films and possession films and lots of nun-type films on at the moment. This is a good old-fashioned creature feature with the worst creatures of all, as far as I'm concerned. Big spiders. So if you've got the stomach for it, watch it. It's on Shudder now. It's called Infested. It runs for about 95 minutes, maybe 100 minutes. And it will make your skin crawl. I can guarantee that. I'm going to give Infested 8 out of 10. Can't say I enjoyed it, obviously, but it was an experience that I sat through, and I thought it was very well done. So, sort of recommended, with the caveat that if you don't like spiders, don't go there. Seriously. Right, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. As I said, like and subscribe. Subscribe there. Like, leave a comment if you've seen Infested. Let me know what you thought of it. Oh, I'm starting to feel itchy just talking about it. Coming up soon, we have more reviews. We have a review coming up on the weekend of The Fall Guy. It's Thursday now. I was hoping to get a review up today or tomorrow morning. I was hoping to see it today, but the times don't quite work out because I've got another thing I'm going to this evening. So there will be a review of The Fall Guy up on Sunday, and I'm going to be doing a Doctor Who preview thought piece, which should be coming up on Saturday. And there'll be a couple of other bits and pieces on the way soon, so please stick around. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Until I do, keep taking the stuff.